What is going on, guys? V-Mania here with another gaming video. This time we are talking about The Division. But before we jump in, guys, I want to ask you to please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. I will continuously bring more content out, so stick around. So what we'll be covering today is the state of the game that was just released by Massive. And also I'll include a link to that full video in the description if you guys want to make your way out to it. And I'm also picking up my PvE supply drops. So let's go ahead and dive in, guys. There's a lot of major updates. A lot was mentioned, so we won't be covering everything. More or less going to hit the highlights of this video. I definitely do advise you go check out the full video so you can kind of find out the details that I may gloss over. Also want to mention that the examples that they provide to us was for the average geared person, not the optimized geared person, so we don't exactly know what the new meta will be or how the game will feel for optimized players, so they still might have to do some tweaking after 1.4 is released. The most important thing I am getting from this state of the game and from 1.4 is the fact that they are bringing consistency. And what I mean by that is no longer do you play heroic on a story mission and deal with the level 33, but when you go play heroic on an incursion and all of a sudden they jump from level 33 to 35. So they've brought consistency in that manner. And also gear score. You know, it was very confusing. You would pick up a piece of 214 gear score item and wonder why it is worse than your 204 high-end item. And that is because 214 items were actually aligned with 182 high-end items. So there was a lot of confusion with gear score, and I'm happy they decided to smooth that out and make it more balanced. So let's go ahead and jump into the major update, guys. The first update that's coming with 1.4 is the time to kill, time to be killed. It's no surprise to people that a level 35 NPC can kill you in maybe 2 bullets, 2 shotgun shots if you're lucky, 3 shots from an assault rifle guy, 1 shot from sniper. So the time to kill, the time to be killed is pretty bad. They are actually making you live 3 times longer when being shot at. If you check out the actual video, they show that it took about 2 seconds for someone to die. You'll be able to live 6 seconds now, so I guess you have more time to shoot at things. But yeah, and also the time to kill when it came to NPCs was pretty high. You know, if you didn't have smart cover or pulse, you can spend about 1 or 2 magazines trying to kill something. The time to kill against a level 33 veteran that they showed took about twice as long as it's going to take when 1.4 drops. So you'll be able to kill things twice as fast now. I think this really speaks to the solo experience and the fact that, you know, it was pretty hard to solo things because you could get hit by 1 or 2 bullets and just die. If your smart cover goes down for a second and you're trying to deploy it again, or a shotgunner's pushing you, you could easily be in a good place while doing heroic content solo like the underground and then somehow just get wiped. So I think this speaks volumes to the fact that you'll be able to solo difficult content. Possibly, I guess. You can't be for sure. They are trying to raise difficulty in other manners. So I guess we'll have to wait for 1.4 to see. Also, we won't be tightly bound to smart cover and pulse anymore. I recently put out a few build videos, and if you kind of watch them, they are closely surrounding having a good pulse or smart cover because it's been required almost. You wouldn't exactly try to make your way through a heroic incursion without having smart cover or pulse. I throw out the challenge of someone who could put a video up of them doing that, because that would actually be amazing with the current state of NPCs right now. Next major update is gear score, guys. The gear score changes, like I mentioned before, is just bringing consistency to the level of item you're picking up. You used to be able to get 268 items in 1.4. Those will actually get changed to 229. And for the rest of them, 240 gear score items is getting changed to 204. 214 gear score items is getting changed to 182. And 191 gear score items are getting changed to 163. And those conversions are for gear sets. So for high ends, the high ends have always been 229, 204, 182, and 163. And if you were around pre 1.1, you know that a 163 item is a level 30 item. So if you have all 163 gear on, you're actually a level 30 character at that point in time. If you have all 182 gear on, you're a level 31 character. And then it just goes up from there. 204 is level 32 and 229 is level 33. When 1.3 dropped, we are able to level up our characters to level 33 now. And this also aligns us with the difficulty or the level of the NPC as well. There will no longer be NPCs higher than 33, at least until a new DLC drop where it raises loot you could get or the difficulty of the NPC as well. So yeah, so if you are fully geared in the end game, your character level will actually be closely aligned with the NPC you may be shooting at now. And I think this speaks volumes towards consistency and kind of pulling out some of that confusion to why, you know, you could pick up a 214 gear set item and it would be well worse off than a 182 high end or a 204 high end, sorry. Another major update is loot. So it's been clarified that to beat the most difficult content, you need the loot in order to do it. The loot you need to beat that difficulty is no longer hidden behind the mission you are trying to complete. So if you are playing a level 31 mission, you can do that mission with level 30 gear. You no longer need to have the level 31 gear just to complete that mission. And that speaks volumes towards the time to kill and time to be killed being improved as well. So you will actually get loot now to help you do better in the next difficulty tier of content you want to face. Also, now it's possible for loot to be dropped from non-named bosses. So it's always been known that if you kill the named boss, you are going to get either a high-end or a gear set item. Now you can get loot from non-named bosses. So just those average gold tier or elite NPCs you are killing, they have the chance of dropping good loot. Also, the difficulty will now not dictate the level of loot. It's going to dictate how much of that loot you get. So now that the NPCs have been flattened, the gear scores have been flattened, if you kill a level 33 NPC, you will get a gear score 229 item. I think that is another level of consistency that is being brought with this update, and I think that's the biggest improvement in this update, is the fact that they are being consistent with the difficulty, with the levels, with the loot, and all of that. Now there's one more major update, and I've saved the best for last, and that is world level. You can now control the level of NPCs that will be present within your world. So they got 4 tiers that they demonstrated within the state of the game. Tier 1 was level 30 NPCs, up to tier 4 being level 33. So tier 2 would be level 31, tier 3 would be level 32, and tier 4 is level 33. And that aligns with loot as well. If you're in tier 1, you're going to get 163 loot. If you're in tier 2, you're going to get 182 loot. Tier 3 is 204, and tier 4 is 229. This world level thing applies to everything: incursions, story missions, they are bringing back named enemies, guys. Bullet King is returning, and that's the first thing I'm going to do when 1.4 drops. I am going to go say hi to Bullet King. I'm just going to go over and give him a big hug because I've gotten 4 Caduceuses from this guy, and it's actually difficult for people to get those guns right now. But Bullet King is the giver of that weapon, so now people will be able to farm named enemies again to get the Caduceus. Alright guys, if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this state of the game. And as always guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.